Hey everyone! So I share a lot of tips videos on my YouTube channel about how to improve your skills as a photographer, how to use your gear better, how to improve your editing. Well, today I want to do something a little differently and actually focus on the negatives. I'm going to go through some of my old photo shoots that I've done in the last few years and point out my mistakes or things I didn't like so much about them and what I could have done to improve those shoots. Starting off, we have this photo shoot, which is a portrait session I did. At first glance, you might be like, these photos are pretty nice, but honestly for me, they are nothing special and I feel like they're missing something. I'm pretty sure I ended up not posting any of these photos, unfortunately, because I just didn't gel with this photo shoot. But saying you don't like something is not a good way to improve your skills and to avoid making the same mistakes in the future. So let's take a closer look at this shoot. First, what makes these photos good? My favorite part about these photos are the subject. I love her posing, it's nice and angular and interesting, her facial expressions are great and we captured a nice variety of them. I also really like the styling. Her outfit looks good and her earrings are a really fun addition. Aside from the subject, we are working in a beautiful location and the lighting is nice too. It's quite soft and I am making use of backlight in most of these photos. And yet, something about this photo shoot doesn't quite work. When I take a look at all the photos together, my favorite ones are these close-ups right here. And the reason for that is because by me getting up nice and close to my subject and cropping with a very tight composition, I'm removing all other distractions from the photo. By picking this one as my favorite, it made me realize that it's the styling and the location that's clashing in these photos, making me not like them. We have this stripy shirt, which looks good on its own. The lush green location with interesting shadows and beautiful bokeh, that also looks good on its own. But when you put them together, there is just too much going on in the frame, causing the photo to look messy and the subject doesn't really stand out. Then, not to mention the photos we took against the fence where we have the horizontal lines of the shirt and the strong vertical lines of the fence, which are really distracting. My second favorite photo from this set are these ones where we created some distance between the subject and the background. So even though we do have those lines in the back, which I don't really love, at least they are softened and don't look as distracting. I think if she was wearing a plain shirt, the results from this photo shoot would have been so much better. So never forget to think about your styling and how the clothing of your subject looks in the locations you choose. It can make such a huge difference to your photos. The next photo shoot we have is this one, and again, at first glance of these photos, they look quite beautiful. We have a stunning model, the gorgeous outfit, and some nice poses. But for me, these photos fall a bit short. Let's start with the good. I absolutely love the color combination of this photo shoot. So unlike our last one, here the outfit works really well with the location. We have yellow and blue, which are complementary colors. The dress also has a lot of textures and patterns, but we are shooting in a plain looking location this time, so we don't have the outfit and the background fighting for attention in the photo. In these shots, your eyes are drawn straight to the subject. I also really love some of the poses we did during this photo shoot. We have some poses that are elegant with a bit of a twist because she's also hunching over a little bit. And I love that contrast in posing. It gives off a very fashion editorial look. There's also this photo, which catches my eye, where she's in a huge stride. It's very powerful, and I love the feeling of movement that it gives off. So I took these photos on the Sony 85mm f1.4 GM, and I think this focal length choice and the way I use my location is the reason why some of these photos work and some of the other photos don't work. An 85mm focal length is a great choice to use sometimes when you want to give your subject an isolated feel. And I noticed some of the photos I really love from this set are where the background is very minimal, so shots like these. I think these work really great because the minimal background looks so intentional. We have solid colors and minimal textures, and thus your eye goes straight to the subject. On the other hand, I also really like the photos where you can see more of the location. I only got a couple of them, but shots like this look really nice too because it provides some context to the set of images and it fills in the minimal photos by sharing a bit more of the location in the frame. The problem I have with this photo shoot are the photos which are essentially not here nor there. With some of the photos where I do like the pose but still feel like they fall a bit flat, The problem with them is that I didn't go enough minimalism, but I also didn't go enough trying to integrate my background into the frame. These photos just sit in the middle. A shot like this one, for example, would have looked so much better if I had waited for the wave to pass and we just had a plain background. This photo here would have looked better if I had composed my shot a little differently and only had water in the background like this. I did eventually bump my aperture up to f2.8, but I don't like those shots either because while you can see more of the background, it would have made more sense for her to be interacting with it a little more to tie the photo together. I think I should have gone with this composition where the model was standing in the water and shot it at f2.8 rather than f1.4 to be able to get in more of the background. Let me know what you think in the comments. So this shoot is a great example of you can't just shoot anywhere and anything with your lens wide open at f1.4 or f1.2 and expect it to look good. You still need to take a look at the textures and shapes and colors your background creates to make sure it's working with the photos you're taking. So if you want a minimal look like these shots here, make it be intentional. I have one more photo shoot to share with you, and this photo shoot, I actually really love the results, but I still see something that I could have done better. And this is something that I am still working towards on my current photo shoot, so I'm interested to see if you pick up on what it is before I even say it. So this photo shoot I did on a crop frame camera body, the Sony a6600, and I was using the budget-friendly E35 f1.8 OSS. So if you are interested in that lens, then you can see what some of the photos look like right now. As usual, let's start off with the things that do work. The model for this photo shoot is Serena, who I have worked before a few times. I have a video with her on YouTube, which is about 24mm composition tips for portrait photography. And it is one of my favorite photo shoots I've done. I'll leave a link down below if you want to watch it. But basically, Serena is amazing at posing and moving in front of the camera. I'll give her an idea and she'll just run with it. She's super dynamic and free-flowing with her poses, and this photo shoot was no exception. I love some of the poses and shots like this, which are very spur-of-the-moment style photos. I also really love that she's open to trying more quirky-looking poses like these ones, which are really fun. The outfit is beautiful too. I love more colorful outfits like this with the beigey orange shorts and the soft pink jumper. Again, these are two colors that work really well together. I would have preferred if we had used a white singlet underneath the jumper, as I don't love how you can see the white top underneath in some of the photos, and also how it can stick out of the jumper in other shots. But I feel like with the compositions and the way Serena's posing fills the frame, it's not super noticeable. So that's not the reason for me on why these photos don't work. I also adore this location. We were shooting underneath this huge tree, so we were in a mostly shady spot with some backlight poking through the branches here and there. The green complements the pink outfit really well, and the branches produce some gorgeous bokeh in the background without being too distracting. We did end up sitting on one of the branches towards the end of the shoot, where I ended up not liking these photos so much either. Instead of this foresty, bokeh-filled background, in these two photos, we have just these two large tree trunks that look pretty distracting in the background. But again, that's not the main problem here. The problem is, when you look at all these photos as a whole, they all kind of look the same and have very similar compositions. There are two instances where I did something a little bit different. So here I took these horizontal orientation portraits where we have really nice negative space on either side of Serena. I wish I did a little bit more of this because the rest of the photo shoot is so busy that this photo is a breath of fresh air and gives the series of images a bit of a break. There are also these photos here where I finally took a step back and left some more negative space at the top of the frame. In this photo, she does have a branch sticking out of her head, so I don't know why I edited that one. But this one here is a nice shot, which again gives the portrait some breathing space and has a nice sense of movement to it. For all the rest of the images, I decided to get in nice and close with tight compositions. Even though I took a mixture of close-up shots and some shots where you can see more of her outfit, they are all still very tightly composed and look the same. A photo shoot and set of images that you deliver to your client will look so much more powerful and dynamic if you include varying compositions in your set of final photos. To spice this set of photos up, I should have taken a few more photos that were further away, such as some full body standing photos, or maybe some shots which shows more of the location. I could have also taken detail photos, but this is a bit easier to fix in post, where I can crop some of the photos I did take to make the series look a bit better. So here is a set of images from the photo shoot where all the compositions look the same. And here is another set of images from the same photo shoot where I've kept in mind to create varying compositions instead. Don't you think the final set of images looks so much more interesting this way? We still have beautiful close-up shots, but at least there is some variety in the other photos I'm sharing as well. That is all I have for today's video. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, because I do have other photo shoots that I can critique. It was actually really fun critiquing my own work, and I'd love to see if you agree or disagree with me. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I make new videos every single week, so I'll see you all next time. Bye.